sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one.
Everybody make a joyful noise. Everybody make a joyful noise. You know how to make a joyful noise. Clap your hands and lift your voice. Everybody make a joyful noise. Everybody lift your voice in song. Everybody lift your voice in song. Come on, lift your voice in song. You can do it, sing along. Everybody lift your voice in song. Everybody clap on 2 and 4. Everybody clap on 2 and 4. Clap your hands on 2 and 4. Make it louder, give it more. Everybody clap on 2 and 4. Living big for God's the way to go. Living big for God's the way to go. Living big's the way to go. You can do it, let it flow. Living big for God's the way to go. We intend to make a joyful noise. We intend to make a joyful noise. You know how to make a joyful noise. Clap your hands and lift your voice. Everybody make a joyful noise. Everybody make a joyful noise. Everybody make a joyful noise.
Yes. Woo. Welcome. Good morning, Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. Let's give some love to our band, yes? Woo. Music director Joe Chinquina on bass and also on vocals. Give it up. Lauren Dechtenberg on keys, vocals, and reading. Our percussionist John Dittert. Today's featured vocalist is Miss Tina Fondren. And, of course, Mr. Jeff Watts making us all sound good. Thank you, Jeff. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love. And we gather every Sunday knowing that love is
Always the answer.
Hey, you got the answer. I am Reverend Rainbow, so grateful to get to serve as your spiritual director and welcome you here this beautiful Sunday morning. We are a conscious community committed to curiosity so that we may provide a loving space to be reminded of the truth of who we are. We are an open and affirming community, so whoever you are and wherever you are on your own personal path of discovery, know that you are absolutely welcome here. Yes? Yes. If you're joining us online via live stream, good morning. Please let us know where you're tuning in from today. Say hello in the chat. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe button. Do all the things. Even if you're in the room, we invite you to take out your phone, take pictures, take videos, check in on social media, share moments of inspiration throughout the service, and let folks know where the love is today, yes? If you are a guest joining us for the very first time here, we especially welcome you, knowing that your presence makes a difference. We are a community that come together with all our different individualnesses, and we swim in this wonderful soup called community, and it wouldn't be exactly the same without you. So we'd love to take a moment just to acknowledge anyone that may be here for this first time in this physical space. If that's you, all you have to do is raise your hand or stand, and we can give you some love. Welcome. Yes, yes. And when you arrive, you may have received a connection card. If you fill that out, bring it to the bookstore after service, and we have a special gift for you as well. So, yes, I see the excitement. There's a CD in there. There is more information about us. There's even a coupon to shop in the bookstore. So, make sure you dig through that special gift. Now is the time that we get to remember that we are one, and that we are all a reflection of one another. So I invite you just to take a moment, maybe put your hands over your heart, and to turn to someone, perhaps someone you don't know or don't know very well, and say, thank you for being a reflection of me. Thank you. Yes. So many beautiful reflections in the room. And we have a fabulous vision and purpose here, so I invite you to repeat after me, and you can find it on the screens as well. We are an inclusive community. We are an inclusive community. Committed to global transformation. Through personal evolution. And then our purpose statement, let's do this one together. Are you ready? Wake up, step up, and make a difference. That's right. And today's affirmation, I'll say once, and then you can repeat and affirm with me. I am willing to question my judgments and be free. I am willing to question my judgments and be free. Yes. So now I invite you to take that deep breath. As we move into our centering song and our opening prayer, which we led this morning by practitioner Kim Damata.
In this place, my soul is free from the light within. I see all the joy, all the peace. Carry me, carry me, carry me, oh, carry me. In this place, love abides. Holy light, surrender me. All the joy,
Breathing into that one place inside where I know all the joy, all the peace. It is all that one perfect life. And that life is right here, right now. Ever creating out of itself as love, as peace, as joy, as wholeness, as freedom, as abundance, as infinite and divine order. And as this is the truth of the one, this is the truth as me, this is the truth as each beloved here. This is the truth as each beloved soul in our community. I know this, and I bless each person here. I bless every volunteer who has come together today to make this service possible. I bless our tech team, our music team, every person in the wings making this a beautiful place, a beautiful space, a welcoming place to be. And I bless our minister, Reverend Rainbow, as she speaks today, knowing whatever needs to be said will be said, knowing that whatever needs to be heard will be heard. I bless our practitioners. And breathing into that, I simply let this be as we go into our morning. I simply say, and so it is. Amen.
All the joy, all the peace, carry me, carry me, carry me, oh, carry me. Today's reading is from the book, I Need Your Love, Is That True? By Byron Katie. Love is what you are already. Love doesn't seek anything. It's already complete. It doesn't want, doesn't need, has no shoulds. It already has everything it wants. It already is everything it wants, just the way it wants it. Sometimes you may seem to trade love for the stressful thought appearing in the moment. It's a little trip out into illusion. Seeking love is how you lose the awareness of love. But you can only lose the awareness of it, not the state. That's not an option, because love is what we all are. That's immovable. When you investigate your stressful thinking and your mind becomes clear, love pours into your life, and there is nothing you can do about it.
Bows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and painted canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions. I recall, I really don't know clouds at all. and fumes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing where you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when they go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions. I recall, I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way, but now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions. I recall, I really don't know life at all.
Yes. So beautiful, yes. And for those of you who have been following Miss Tina on social media, you see that she has been all about town. She is just blowing up with her music. Yes. So if you don't follow her yet, you can find her as Miss Tina and go out and see her, because it's still festival season. And we are just so blessed to get to have such talent in our community and to see each of us blooming into our greatest yet to be. So this month we are exploring this idea of curiosity. Thank you. I move too much. I don't want to knock it down. And we're looking at how curiosity can actually be a superpower. So this is beyond just the curiosity of wonder and looking at things with a childlike curiosity, which is a very vital and important part. But we're going to take this a little bit deeper in order to really turn it into a superpower for our own spiritual growth and development. So I want you to imagine now perhaps a recent memory of the last time you went to a movie theater. You went to the theater, there's the big screen, the lights go down, the music's loud. Creates a whole visceral experience to where you are completely engaged in the story that's being told, right? And this environment allows us to kind of forget our own world for a moment and get sucked into the world of whatever the storyteller is bringing to life on the screen in front of us. And not only are we viewing this, but we can feel what the characters are feeling. We are often moved, whether it be a scary movie that makes our heart pound a little faster, or some kind of poignant movie or emotional movie that may bring tears to our eyes. And this can feel very real. And then the lights come up. And all of a sudden you notice, oh, I got my popcorn to clean up, and oh yeah, I'm sitting here, with whoever's around me, and slowly we kind of wake up or begin to integrate back into our surroundings. So life is this. Life is a projection of our own perception, of our own stories. We see life and experience life based on our own lens. We are the storyteller, depicting how we choose to experience what is showing up around us. So our own awareness, our own beliefs, our own thoughts and ideas about ourselves and the world is what is reflected in the circumstances or the world around us, much like that projection of a movie or a film. But the thing is, it's not a fixed reality. Our experience is a moment-to-moment reality that is unfolding before us, and we are the storytellers. And this is where, if we are willing to invite in curiosity, we can move from a fixed mindset to a more fluid, open, curious mindset, which allows us to see things with more nuance, or perhaps with a multifaceted perspective. So as we are entering fall, I know there's already the pumpkin spice lattes are back. And soon we're going to start seeing the Halloween decorations. My family's already been asking for them. I tend to be the one that tries to hold off just a little longer, can we? And so this reminds me of, experiencing a haunted house. And there is this house over kind of in our old neighborhood that they construct a whole haunted house in their front yard. And when we first moved here, our daughter was 3 or 4, and we were very curious about it, but she in no way was going to go in. Well, this last year, age 6, she decided, I'm going to do the haunted house. So we get up to it, and the first thing is like, as you even go to walk in, there's this character that, she's, So we're like, it's not real. It's not real. I hold her hand, and we move through the haunted house by saying, that's not real. That's not real. It's not real. That's not real. We do pretty good, And then what gets me is that, I think it's over, right? So I kind of let my guard down and step out, and then there's some kind of skeleton dog or spider that jumps out at you, when you least expect it, and that's when I scream, and then she runs, and I'm like, it's okay. Yes. So I bring this up to share, that openness, that willingness to ask, to question, to notice what are we perceiving, and to ask, is it real? Is it true? That curiosity, instead of believing everything we see and believing the stories and the judgments we have about what we see, again, creating that fixed mindset, by opening up a little bit and finding that space, we can begin to have a different experience. So we last week introduced this topic by turning to Brené Brown's definition. And she defines curiosity as interest in a cognitive openness to engaging with a topic or an experience. Curiosity is recognizing a gap in our knowledge about something that interests us and becoming emotionally and cognitively invested in closing that gap through exploration and learning. So I want to personalize this definition a little bit for our topic today. So I rewrote it as this. Curiosity is interest and an openness to engaging with ourselves, our thoughts, and our world. Curiosity is recognizing a gap in our knowledge or understanding about ourselves and the world, and becoming emotionally and cognitively invested in closing the gap through exploration and learning. All right, so this is the journey that we are traveling this day and this month. When you hold curiosity in this way, and perhaps if you hold curiosity as a deep core value as I do, it can become more of a lifestyle, providing a path for deep learning and personal growth and expansion. So what it does is it allows us to move from what we know or think we know to be true about ourselves or a situation in order to see something that perhaps we didn't know or see before, in order to have a deeper understanding of this thing called life, God, the universe, the world, whatever word works for you, to have a deeper understanding of ourselves and life. So we can choose to commit to this idea of curiosity as a path for growth and self-awareness, or as our kind of default brain may have us do, and how society kind of supports, we could choose to be committed to being right and to seeing a situation as something that is happening to us as opposed to through us, by us, for us, right? So just notice right now, and not in a place of judging yourself, but notice right now, are you more committed to curiosity or to being right? And are you willing to perhaps just move the needle a bit if you're on that far side of being committed to your story of being right, to opening up to a little bit more spaciousness and curiosity? What this does is it creates more spaciousness for us to actually make a conscious choice instead of living by a default reaction. So one of the first steps in doing this work of embracing curiosity is to pay attention and to notice our default reactions. What are those ingrained patterns that come so quickly that we move or respond in such a way that we're not actually consciously choosing our thought? We're just saying it. And then perhaps with a little space, either a little reflection from the other or a little time before bed and whatever it may be, that we realize, oh, I wasn't really coming from my highest and best self in that moment. Something else was leading the way. And so just that creates the awareness, the curiosity to explore how we are showing up with each other. A great place to play with this is in our relationships. And we are always bumping up against each other in relationship, whether it be a personal, intimate relationship, parent, child, family, co-workers, spiritual community, or simply your neighbors or those you happen to be in line with at the grocery store. We are always in relationship, and we can begin to get curious and to notice what is triggering us and how are we responding. And then go a little deeper to see, is our default reaction a sign of some kind of old limited belief that we can choose more consciously to free ourselves from, to let go of those old patterns in order to create more space and curiosity for something new to emerge. And one of the simplest tools to do this is taking a breath, right? If you notice yourself having that moment of reaction or whatever emotional charge, just breathe. And from there, we can listen, we can invite in the infinite wisdom, we can invite in the love from within to actually consciously choose how we want to show up or how we want to respond instead of reacting. Taking responsibility, the ability to respond, means providing that space, that breath, that moment, minding the gap between the thought or the reaction and actually saying the thing, or actually choosing to indulge that thought until it becomes like a snowball building momentum, and then we're telling our story over and over, and the snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it becomes this giant snow mountain that seems so real. Of course we would say, there's a snow mountain there. It's real. I can see it, right? But what is that made up of? It's made up of this momentum of thought that keeps attracting to itself, because like attracts like, building up our story by sharing with those around us who support our exact point of view until it becomes what seems really true and real. But we can begin to melt away that giant snowball by inviting in curiosity, spaciousness, breath, questioning, noticing, asking, is it true? Am I willing to see the opposite of my story as true or truer? And what this does is it opens us up for a new awareness, a new approach, a new perspective on life, to see things differently, to choose a new thought more consciously. So by bringing this type of awareness and curiosity to our life, we can move through the world noticing things and beginning to name them. And in naming them, it creates that space. So let me give you an example of this. If you are, in a conversation and someone says something and you notice yourself feeling a little defensive or reactive, and as you continue to do this work, you will be able to, in a second, notice it's that wound, that's that trigger, it's that self-doubt, it's that unworthiness that's coming up again. And by simply being able to notice, I'm feeling that doubt, that unworthiness, and wanting to then defend myself by speaking in a certain way. But by simply noticing, what am I feeling right now? Oh, there it is again. And naming it creates a little bit of space to get curious, to notice what thoughts we are having about ourselves, the other person, or the situation in the moment. And then taking that pause can allow a shift, a transformation, a new possibility, a new relationship dynamic to emerge by simply shifting how you perceive yourself. So something I became aware of a handful of years ago was my default reaction to defend myself in order to really feel seen and understood, right? Like I have this kind of, my core need and desire is to be seen and understood. And so I would have the strong desire to want to explain why I do the things I do, so that the other person would get that I don't have a bad intention, right? This is why I'm doing it. So when somebody would make a simple request, I would go into, I did this because of blah, 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 and the other person is just hearing blah, 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 blah. They're not listening to me. Why are they so defensive? Whereas my intention from this kind of, unhealed inner child, you may say, of wanting to be seen and known and understood, thinks that it's explaining itself to protect itself by giving all the information so you can know, I'm really not a bad person. This is why I'm doing it. Can't you understand? Can't you see why? But the other person, it is perceived as excuses, defense, you're not listening to me, you're selfish, all of these things. And so we can begin to unravel all of this by doing our conscious work, by being committed to curiosity and knowing and understanding ourselves even deeper. And so I had an experience, I'll tell just kind of a very, what may seem like a very simple example of this. I won't get into the many other personal stories I could share with my wife sitting here. I won't go there, but I'll tell a simple example of this moment. So I was a counselor, like a facilitator at a teen camp, and we were doing some kind of exercise outside, and we were standing outside in a row, like having a moment where we would say something to someone across from us and reflect something. It was, one of these, like, look into your eyes, spiritual practices. And where I'm standing, the light is shining very much, the sun is shining in my eyes, and I have very sensitive eyes. Here's my story. I need to explain to you why. I chose to wear my sunglasses. And so when I go and it's my turn to be in front of the other adult advisor, he asks if I can take my sunglasses off. And for some reason in that moment, it triggered that in me, that like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. I'm bad because, these things covering my eyes, so I'm not actually fully present to the exercise, or maybe this is how the person is perceiving me, but really it's just my eye. If I take them off, I'm going to be doing this. Anyway, so it's like all these thoughts in a millisecond, right? But there's kind of I kind of chose, like, I took them off. I was like, oh, well, I'm just, the light's in my eyes, but I kind of reluctantly did it, right? And then I was distracted the rest of the time because I was like, something just didn't sit right with me. And then upon reflecting later, I was like, oh, I was feeling like, for some reason, a simple request to, would you be willing to take off your sunglasses, became this whole thing about me that I had made up in my own mind, that I was somehow bad or not doing it right because I had on sunglasses, right? And then when I take a moment now and look back, I was like, okay, so another choice I could have had, I could have simply just said no, period. I could have asked to, yes, if you could switch places so I'm not looking at the sun, and then, right? But instead I got into the whole, I'm bad, I'm wrong, okay, I'll do it, but now I'm suffering, and then this whole story. So I share this to say, even though it seems like a very simple moment of someone saying, will you take your sunglasses off, there's a whole world in that moment. That if we're willing to be conscious, to get curious, to really go deeper moment to moment, these are the opportunities for spiritual growth. We may think it is the moments that we are sitting on the mat, meditating, or taking a beautiful walk in the woods, and these moments of interactions that cause us to go, that too is our greatest spiritual growth opportunity. So as we begin to create some space by inviting in curiosity, by noticing our thoughts, and then taking that breath, taking that beat to mind the gap, to mind the moment of noticing our thought and then choosing to actually think the thought, and it becoming the snowball, or the moment between a reaction and actually then pausing and having a conscious response instead of that default reaction, which actually creates even more distance. So if we want to truly experience being seen and known and understood and intimacy and belonging and all of these things, the invitation is to stop looking at others to give us that love, to give us that approval, that we desire, and realize, as the reading said from the amazing work of Byron Katie, that love needs nothing. Love is already complete, and that is who we are. So we can return to the awareness of I need nothing outside of me to be whole, perfect, and complete. We can remember the truth of who we are. But first, we must acknowledge that those triggers are there, or those thoughts and those beliefs, and begin to question them so then we can move through this process of turning them around, of transformation. So there's always a moment when we are willing to just slow down and become a little bit more of the observer in our own life. And noticing the questions we ask. Are we asking, why is this happening to me? Why does this keep happening? And instead, be willing to move into curiosity and to twist that question, turn that question around to a more conscious way of asking, like, is this thought true? Is what I'm thinking about this situation, about me, about the other, is it true? Awareness is key. Identifying those judgments and assumptions that we have about ourselves and others will help us shift and notice when they come up. Because what I have discovered in my own life is that there's not all these random judgments. There's actually a very kind of specific pattern of judgments and things that are very much related to my own core wound that I have decided to walk this journey with, to bring more light and awareness and consciousness to experience transformation. So there's often a pattern of thoughts or a pattern of judgments that we can begin to deconstruct, to have more awareness around, and then once we notice one, we start to see how it shows up. Oh, there it is in that relationship, or oh, that's what that was from childhood, or here it is showing up with this person again, and realize, oh, I'm the common denominator, right? As Taylor Swift says, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Yes. And then to turn it around though, right, and not seeing problem as a judgment, but seeing it as, oh, I have the opportunity then to see things differently, to change my mind, to take back my power and my own agency, to live life curiously, consciously, waking up and aware. Instead of running by default about what everyone else says or thinks we should or shouldn't do, that then we have believed about ourselves that we should or shouldn't do or be. When we begin to question these judgments, we can see them for what they really are, which is fake news. You know, these stories of, oh, poor me, oh, these they're always hurt, people hurt my feelings, and no one ever, believes me or sees me or blah, 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 all of it. That's fake news. That's this idea of fear and doubt coming up. Some of you may have heard this, I think it's called an acronym, of fear as false evidence appearing real. Are you living in a haunted house in your own mind? Right? Is this real? This isn't real. This isn't real. Ah! Yeah. False evidence appearing real. And as we begin to just notice and question, we open up, we create a little bit more space to see from a new perspective and to release our fixed mindset in order to experience peace and freedom and more connection that we desire. So next week, we're going to get a little bit more into the work that Byron Katie is known for, and it's called The Work. And so I'm going to kind of wrap up today without getting too much into that, but it is an amazing practice and some simple questions. So this week, if you're curious and this is ringing true for you, I invite you to Go to YouTube, Google, whatever resources there may be. Take a look at our lending library, our bookstore. We may have some books on the work, or Byron Katie, I'm not sure. But look up Byron Katie and watch some examples of how she uses this process of simply asking, is it true? How do I absolutely know it's true? And what does believing this true say about me or make me feel, right? So if you're curious, do some pre-homework and get a little related to this work, and we're going to dive into it even more next week as we look at what is actually motivating our behavior and getting curious about that. So I want to leave you with this last tool. Switch it up. So we have a moment to pause, to breathe, to reflect, and now we're going to switch it up. We're going to switch up the energy in order to see something from a new perspective. This quote comes from a book called Movement for Actors by Nicole Potter. The body is constantly acquiring knowledge, expressing feelings, and awakening sensations in the whole body. Our world has become so civilized that we often forget that we inhabit our bodies for only moments on the spectrum of time. If you spend a lot of time sitting with your legs crossed, find a way to hang upside down and pretend to be a bat. Switch it up. Switch up your perspective in a fun, playful way in order to break free a little bit from this fixed mindset of how you see the world, and perhaps invite in curiosity about how a bat sees the world. So the invitation this week, hang like a bat, crawl like a squirrel, do the crab walk, whatever it may be. But be willing to ask and to listen to what is actually wanting to be known in the moment. To live in a state of curiosity and to remain open to the possibility of experiencing life beyond the haunted house of your mind into experiencing the wildest dreams of your pure imagination, and see how that can unfold into not only creating and experiencing your highest and best good and potential, but the highest good for all as we work to create a world that works for everyone. Yes? Yes? All right, let's take it into prayer. So right now we take that breath. Just sitting in a moment of stillness. Inviting in curiosity, spaciousness, openness. Breathing into the pure potentiality of this now moment. As we know and recognize this one life as love, as peace, as wholeness. This one life as pure possibility. Knowing that there is only one thing happening, one thing living and breathing each and every one of us, and this one divine activity, this cosmic isness, this first cause is love, is peace, is wholeness, is who I am. This is the truth that we have come here to know this day. This is the truth that we are affirming right here, right now. Is it true? Well, is it love? Is it peace? Is it wholeness? And we breathe, allowing the energetic vibration of these words of peace, of wholeness, of love to inform every aspect of our being, from the deep cellular level to our energetic body to our spiritual body. Body, mind, heart, soul, spirit is all there is. Love. Love is. So I'm so grateful to know that love is who I am. So grateful to know this truth for myself and to see this truth reflected with every beloved I meet. With every beloved, I have the opportunity to see this truth reflected back to me as love, as peace, as wholeness. For we are all divine expressions of the one, walking around in this world in our own unique ways of being and expressing and showing up. But the truth is we are one, and love is who we are. So how good it is, yes, how good it is to know this truth, to lean in and to rest in love as love, and to let love be. So I release this word now into the action of the law that always says, yes, 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 my beloved, it is done, and it is so. So together we say, and so it is. Yes.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Rest in God and say amen.
Yes. So I invite you now just to turn to someone and to say, I am willing to see things from a new perspective. Yes. All right, y'all. I'm excited to see some pictures of those of you who choose to hang like a bat, slither like a snake, crawl like a crab, whatever it is. I want to see your pictures and post them on our community group if you're on Facebook. So, yes, we're going to keep us alive for us this week. All right, so we're going to now move into our time of conscious giving, where we open to the flow of life, knowing and recognizing that we live in a reciprocal universe, that what we put out comes back to us multiplied abundantly. So there are several ways that you can give. We're going to pass a basket in the room now for you to give of your financial good to support this community, but you can also give online. And those of you who are tuning in via live stream, you can go to our website, ahavacenter.net, and click the giving tab. You can also text the word give to 859-209-6996 or mail in your gifts as well. So I invite you now just to perhaps place your hands over your heart and repeat after me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava, knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
So last night we had the opportunity to participate in the Water and Lantern Festival that took place in the Kentucky Horse Park. And so we were there with our Ahava wings. That's why they came back a little wrinkly. They'll fall out. And invited people to take pictures with our wings of love. We passed out over 200 affirmation cards, and just the moment of seeing people reading that affirmation and lighting up and be like, yes, I am, right? It was so powerful. So I just want to take a moment and thank Kyle and Colleen and Heather and Cadence who were there last night representing Ahava. And if that sounds fun to you, we have 2 more opportunities coming up. We are going to be this Saturday at the Kentucky Black Pride Festival here in Lexington. We're still looking for some volunteers to be at the booth for that. And it's in the evening. And then Berea Pride Festival is coming up the following Saturday, September 30th. And that event starts, I think, at like 10 or 11 and goes to about 5. So sign-up sheets out there, or send us an email if you're online and want to volunteer to serve and share the love. Pass out some affirmation cards. It's a lot of fun. Other events coming up. We have our fall equinox potluck and celebration at the Isons, and make sure that you sign up in advance for that. It is going to be a beautiful experience. We're going to, again, it's a potluck, so we're going to have some food and community, and then we're going to gather around the fire, and there'll be some beautiful ritual and ceremony and some music. I heard Kim and John will be there providing a little music for the beautiful moment around the fire. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you sign up so you get all the details for that. Again, we have opportunities to sign up online. There's flyers all scattered around this building. A lot of them have QR codes on them. Hold your phone up. That will take you right to the sign-up form online. We also have a fun event coming up, Free Space Drag Bingo on October 6th, and that is going to be hosted by our very own Corbell. So thank you, Corbell, for that. Yes, come and get ready to win some fun prizes, to play bingo, and have a moment of community celebration. Like $1 a card. It's only, it's free. It's only $1 a card. Like, come on, just come and have some fun. And then our blues concert coming up October 13th with Joe Cinquina and some other local musicians. We're super excited about that. If you were here for the last one, you know what to expect. Tell a friend, because it was rocking. It is going to be even more rocking and even more fun. And we want to get you on your feet dancing and no longer feeling the blues, right? We have a couple classes coming up as well. An amazing, class based on this book, The Prosperous Life Journal. And this is available for sale in the bookstore for $15. So every Sunday in October, right after, we'll have a little break to get some food. And then we're going to be doing a class around this book Sundays after service in October. And we have Ahava 101 coming up, a great way to find out more about our community, our teaching, what we came from, the history, as well as what we value and ways that you can get more plugged in and involved. And at the end of that 2-week class, you may choose to officially become a member, or you may choose to say, great, I know more, and I'll think about that. So we encourage you to sign up for that as well if you are new or newer to the community. Oh my goodness, y'all, so much good going on this fall. I am so excited to finally get to see Thread and Bone. This is the solo play written by our very own Lisa Woods. and we rescheduled it. It's now going to be the end of October. And it's a very powerful piece. She did a piece, a short reading from this at our last open mic, and I've invited her back to do another short reading during an upcoming service, so you'll know what I'm talking about, and you too will want to get your tickets for that event. So, ongoing events, grief support, the Way of Mastery study group. Our meditation and metaphysical discussion is coming back once a month on the first Wednesday, starting in October, and that's led by our practitioners. We're going to do it hybrid, so that means we're going to be both in person and have the online option. That is true for our upcoming classes as well. So, a lot going on. Check out the flyers, go to our website, sign up for all the things. But before we wrap this up, I want to invite Alois up to tell us, give us one more fun opportunity today. Yes. Thank you.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
In the social hall, there is all kinds of, well, there's a watermelon, there's bell peppers, there's German sweet tomatoes, which are an heirloom from very dear Amish friends of ours, and they are all organic. No herbicides, no pesticides. All proceeds are going to go to Ahava. So, help yourself.
Yes.
And everything that we're pulling out of the garden, we're going to be bringing here to sell, and it's kind of dwindling out a little bit because it's getting towards the end of the season, FYI.
Yes.
Thank you.
So get it while it's hot. Thank you, Alois. All right, so let's turn this back over to our fabulous music team.
If you think there's nothing new under the sun, if it's possible, it's already been done. If you think the stage has all been set, think again. You ain't seen nothing yet. The sun will come up with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. If you think you finally made your bed, there ain't nothing down that road ahead. If you think this is as good as it gets, wanna bet, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. The sun will come up with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. Believe it, you will see it. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. And you you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Hey, yeah. Will come up with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. Believe it, you will see it. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. And you you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. And you ain't seen nothing.
was our affirmation today, guys?
I am more than my name.
Say that louder again. Go.
I am more than my name.
All right. And what did you learn about I'm more than my name, Caroline? Okay. So we learned we are more than our names. Our names are how people acknowledge us. But we get to decide who we are. We get to decide what we are. We get to decide the names that we answer to. So for example, if somebody calls us mean, but we have decided that we are nice, then we don't have to listen to that person who says that we are mean because they don't know us the way that we do.
Yes.
And we always decide who we are ultimately.
Woo!
And,
Yes.
and for our craft, we made buttons, and Cadence is going to tell you about her buttons and why she chose to make them the way she made them.
So I want it to be different colors on one color, and I made it different patterns. And this one I had 2 colors.
And she put love and joy on each side.
Beautiful. Yay! Yes.
Miss Amy.
So grateful for our youth. Let's give them some more love. Woo. And we'll see you in the community room after service.
I would like to make a quick announcement about the youth. So we have one sponsor already to fill our 42 goodie bags, our Halloween goodie bags. The youth are going to be selling them on a donation basis for a fundraiser. So if there is anyone who would like to donate a bag of candy, or if your business would like to donate, a little something. For instance, Cadence's karate studio donated a bunch of little toys that we've used to fill up the bags. And so, I put a tattoo from their studio in there too. So just keep that in mind if you would like to support that. And then they will be on sale mid-October next month. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Heather. So a reminder that our licensed spiritual practitioners are available to pray with you, to support you in whatever transformation you may be going through right now. You can submit a prayer request online in our prayer box, or today in person, we have Kim D'Amata available for in-person prayer. And also in addition to that, a few of our practitioners offer one-on-one spiritual coaching. So if you want to find out more about working with Dr. Louise Talon or Dr. Patty Cooper, their cards and information are over here by the prayer box as well. So let us now bring our service to a close. I invite you, if you feel called, to stand up if you're able, and then repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in curiosity.
Life is in curiosity.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I
I share it.
share it.
Just the way it appears.
Just the way it appears.
And just the way it appears not.
Just the way it appears not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
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 Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me love 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 in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
I want to thank everyone for coming out. It's great to see these seats filling up again after all this time with COVID. So please come on out and see us again. If you can't make it here, watch us online. Don't forget this week, hang like a bat, Matt. Skate like a snake, Jake. Roar like a lion, Brian. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. Let me live in a holy, holy way.